we are going live, and so we're checking around town to make sure that everything is all as it should be. So bear with me. It looks like it's on my page. We'll see that it's on the other pages as well. Make sure that it looks like it's live on Jay Lane. Just one more check. As you know, it's not live on YouTube. We've got a big problem. Let's see here. It says live, so I will come back into the room and we can begin as people are coming on. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So just keep saying hello. Oh my gosh, I'm multitasking here. I'm multitasking. Hey, Marianne, welcome. I know there's a bunch of you from Jay's. Good evening, Janet. Good evening, Maggie. We're going to get to everybody as you all come in and say hello. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. We're going to have a whole crowd here. So Jay's right now in the green room, but we will be getting to that in a second. So keep saying hello, and I will be saying hello all the way around. So I guess we could just start jumping in. Anybody want to do a sound check out there? Hello, hello. Hey, Tammy. Hello, Infinity family for Jay, who's in the green room. We'll be letting her in a minute. Good. Let's see. Wait, Janet. Yes, can see and hear on YouTube. No problem. Excellent. So if we have any issues, you got to let me know. Otherwise, I will not know. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Happy end of your week. And welcome to TGIF for the Curious and Enlightened. I'm your host, Debbie Tatel from Spirit Light Insight. I am a clairvoyant, energy healer, mentor, guide. I teach classes and workshops to help you develop your natural psychic and clairvoyant abilities for healing, for clarity, and for communication with spirit. So today is a really special show as we welcome special guest, world-renowned psychic, medium Jay Lane, who is also my friend. Wait till you hear how long I've known this wonderful woman. It's been a long time. So we are welcoming her. We are still doing a short wrap-up for the week, including an ending meditation. In this meditation, though, so I hope you'll stick around for the whole thing, you are going to get a chance to say hello to a loved one on the other side, one-to-one. I'm going to teach you some tools to do that. So I hope that you stick around. Also, as we're welcoming in, and I'm just pointing at our little chat that's moving like crazy. It's wonderful. We are multi-streaming this event on all of Jay's channels and to her Infinity family group. So I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone who's coming in and just say hello to Jay's Infinity family. So gosh, Jay and I first met on Facebook. I think we figured out in 2008 or 2009, and we have stayed connected ever since. We've circled around each other. We've watched each other grow as psychics, as mediums, as, we're now doing this together, which is amazing. So we've stayed connected. Back in the day, the whole psychic thing wasn't really mainstream. So we were on there kind of in this little group of psychics and colleagues and things like that. And we kind of stuck together as best we could. So Jay is not your conventional medium. Most people go to mediums who have lost someone and are looking for closure. But Jay not only gives people closure, she also gives them so much more. She helps people to understand death and what's waiting for us on the other side. Jay has completed one book, Dying to Know, which is actually, you can actually get that free on her website if you sign up for email. I'll remind you of that. And she's currently working on a second book called Soul Numbers. A little bit more about Jay is Jay was born and raised in Sudbury, Ontario. Hello, Canada people, the nickel capital of the world. Her father was a miner and owned a driving school, and her mother was a tea leaf reader and a seer who operated a psychic practice from 1961 to 1983, which is amazing because that was just so not mainstream at that time. Jay's mother said she was born with her abilities, but didn't notice her clairaudient abilities. And that's the ability for clear hearing, clairaudient, that's clear hearing, until she had a near-death experience at the age of 4. That's when Jay drowned, but was sent back from the other side. So her mother told her that it was her purpose had not been fulfilled, and that's why she came back. I can't even imagine at 4. So we're going to talk about that. When Jay was 9, she saw her first human spirit while standing in a grocery store aisle because that's what we do. At the time, Jay relayed a message to a woman from the spirit that had been following her. Jay says it was both the best and worst experience of her life, and she was punished for just reading this woman at the time. And it's really strange to get punished for something you can't control, but she needed it to happen because it's the reason that she shares her gifts with everyone today. So without further ado, from wherever you are, put your hands together as we welcome my friend, colleague, the world-renowned psychic medium, Jay Lane.
Oh my God, my head's swelling. Thank you so much.
Good. It should be swelling.
Oh my goodness, Debbie, thank you so much for having me here today. And yes, we've known each other since 2009. Long time.
2009.
Yeah.
That's so unbelievable to me that and I'm such a fangirl. The best part about this is I have been thinking about inviting Jay to come on this show. I mean, it's pretty new. I haven't been doing it for, more than a few months and things like that. And hey, Richard, June, everybody. Oh gosh, I'm not even going to be able to say all your names. It's amazing, everybody that's coming on. So just welcome to all of you. But I was so nervous, and I'm looking at Jay's tour schedule, her spirit tour schedule, and I'm thinking, there's no way that she's going to have time for little old me over here. And I sent an email, and I think you responded like right away.
I did. I was so honored.
It was so amazing to me, and I'm such a fangirl.
Oh my God, but I'm a big fan of yours too. I've been watching you grow too for a long time, girlfriend. And the thing is, I still remember going to Chicago, and then you said, "Why did you stop in?" But I couldn't because I was on a flight to Tennessee, and that was my stopover. But I still remember it. And when you said Chicago today, so I don't know why I was thinking Connecticut, and when you told me Chicago, I said, "Oh my God, I remember you asking me to."
You were flying through. That was when you were doing your tour across America, right?
I think I honestly think I went to read for a bunch of celebrities in Nashville is what I was going to do. So I was there. There was a cast of Nashville. I've never seen the show.
But nice.
Yeah. So
I'm going to throw in this chat overlay so people can, because it's only the new ones will show up. Oh my gosh, we have so many of them.
Yeah, we have a lot of people here. Hi everyone.
Oh my God. We do. We have almost 100 or more. Folks that are on here. So I think I'll leave this so that because I want to say hello to every single person, but it's like cutting us off. So
that's okay. But that's what I was doing. I had gone to Nashville to do a bunch of readings, and it was great. I met some really interesting people and all kinds of different people. So I loved every minute of it. So it was great.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And yeah, this is coming in. This might get, when we're talking, I'm actually going to flip this off as much as I love having,
I could see the comments though.
You can see that. Yeah, you can see the comments. So I'm trying to say hello to everybody. So, Yeah, because we've got quite the crowd, but I want to turn that off just because it'll get a little distracting when we're talking. But well, welcome to my TGIF. I know when we first started circling around, I remember you were doing, and it was so blown away by it because I do, I have my certain healing techniques and things like that. I do clairvoyant readings and I still communicate with spirit and all of that, but nowhere near like you're off the charts. I remember you doing this. I don't know where it was live, if it was on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, where you would get on and you'd be like, I have a message for G. And so if you're G, I have this message from spirit. And I was like, how is she doing that? That's amazing.
I love doing it. Like, it just feels so connected. Sometimes they're very specific messages, or they'll say, I died at 6:05 a.m. and I'm here and I'm a male, or like, it just all depends. And I'll tell everybody what I see, but I've just learned to ignore why I'm seeing it, and I just communicate what I see, because for years I tried to figure out why I was seeing all these things or feeling this way, you know?
Wow, that's just incredible. That's honestly so welcome to everyone. Well, since this is my usual TGIF for the curious and enlightened. And the reason I call it for the curious and enlightened is for those who are just dabbling, they're just getting started, they're curious about mediumship or clairvoyance or energy work or healing, whatever the process is. And the enlightened for people who have been doing this a while. Maybe you hear something new, maybe you get a technique, but for everyone, one of the reasons that I do this show is so that we wrap up the energy from the week or the month and we do a little meditation and reset it. So we're in present time able to move forward instead of our thoughts in the past or all those things we have to do from during the week. So for this weekly wrap up, actually, I have to say, hello, it's happy equinox.
Yes.
It's autumn in the northern hemisphere, so we're just going into fall, and then it's spring in the southern hemisphere. And we do have people. I don't know if Angela's here, but we have people from down under in New Zealand that are on here. And actually, why don't you drop in the comments where you're from, and we'll start rattling that off because I'm curious where everyone is from. And wherever you're from, just drop that in the comments. But yeah, today is the equinox, which is actually a balancing of day and night, light and dark, all of those things. Everything comes into balance. And I think it's something like at 1:05 a.m. or something. So, but we're under the influence. Oh my gosh, look at all these chats. Oh, I can't even get to it as fast as it's coming in.
Honey,
Wow,
Deb.
amazing. Oh my God. Kerrigan Lake. Yeah, we're going to do readings a little bit later.
But we are going to do readings. Oh, yeah.
Actually, for sure, we're going to be doing some readings later. So we will get to all of you. But this is a big change of seasons. And usually, and I've actually heard that scientifically, I don't know this for sure, but that souls tend to cross over at the benchmarks, like the
Yeah.
equinoxes and the changes in seasons and things like that. And what I noticed this week was there was an amazing number of souls that left
Yes.
just this week.
Yes.
And a lot of pets.
Yes.
What are you noticing with that while I put up some of these?
Well, that is true. I found 2 birds already, like 2 dead birds, and like they hadn't hit any windows or anything. So it was really quite surprising for me. And just like, we live in the north, so you're going to see a lot of dead animals on the side of the road. But a lot of like passings. I've had 2 really good friends of mine who each lost 3 people each, like in a space of like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. It's just bing, 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 you know. And I hate to say it like that, but that's the reality of it. And so the thing is, and today Brad, my husband, actually found a little bird that was all like, you know, so he held him for about 15 minutes, just made sure he was okay. Because here, if a bird's on its back, you have to flip it over, and if you flip it over, it has a better chance to live because its lungs are heavy, and so it has trouble breathing when it's on its back. So right away we go check outside. But it's funny that I found that because I usually don't find dead birds like in the yard, and it was just really weird. But yes, I have
Mhm.
noticed like an increase just in the last little bit.
Yeah, just people, I mean, people are posting about their dogs, their cats, their all kinds of things. And then I saw today even the actually I couldn't even watch it, read it. It was a story about one of the pandas in Mexico that's now like
Oh,
nearing the end of their life,
yes. Yeah.
and they were calling her the forgotten panda. And I was like, I can't even read this before this show. I'm going to get to
That's it. You get too emotional. I'm a big
I
animal freak. Oh yeah, I love them.
yeah. Tammy just lost her husband's uncle. Ugh.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh
Uh,
my God, I'm so sorry
yeah.
for your loss. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what, Richard? I agree. It feels like the energy is about to change, but I think that's all about the equinox, right? And so there's a huge shift in that energy, and so people feel it. And just like Mercury was in retrograde, not that long ago, actually. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's all, I mean, it's really quite something. And I'm noticing, and Richard, so Richard comes every week. Thank you so much, Richard, for always being here. That's so wonderful. But what's so amazing to me is that the note that I have about that just says the energy is shifting.
it is. It is.
It is. But I also really believe that awareness is increasing.
Yes, I think so too. I
Um,
think with everything
how
that's
are you noticing that, let's say, in your
I think people are just turning to this a little bit more because what is there left? I mean, after this COVID thing, and not to bring that up specifically, but everything that's happened, it's like there's been a big reset, right? And
Mhm.
so it's like people are looking at their lives and going, geez, I'm wasting my time doing this, or they reevaluate quite a bit. So I find that there's been quite a shift there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that people are looking
Mhm.
at things a little bit differently. But I find spiritually that people in the last few years have expanded a lot more because of all the deaths, because of all the things that have happened, because there needs to be hope somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And light workers are here. And I'm telling you, we become very, very important during that time. I remember some of my clients saying, "You're better than my psychiatrist. I just feel so grounded when I speak to you because I feel like everything's going to be okay." But everything was going to be okay. But just some people, weren't feeling that. So I think that a lot of people turned like to self healing, a lot of spirituality as a result of that,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
find their inner selves because they're going, well, geez, my life has just changed like this. I'm not allowed to do this. And if you live in Canada, like you're in Chicago, you had a little bit more freedom. And of course, your COVID was very bad there. And I feel so
Oh,
sorry.
no, we were shut.
Yeah,
We were
we were shut for
we
a
were closed
long
down.
time. Oh, we were closed down for like close to 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's difficult, when you can't have your neighbors over and people telling you what to do. And people are not used to not having that freedom or not going wherever they want to go and do the things that they want to do. So I think that getting in touch with yourself a little bit more and a lot more self-healing. A lot of people were reaching out a lot more for Reiki services, for energy work, coaching, even like trying to
Yeah.
self-heal. Like I think that's just wonderful. But I think the world has changed that way quite a bit. And I find that people are much more open to it.
Yeah.
These last few years that they have been than they have been in the last 10 or 12, let's say, you know?
Yeah. This has been actually, I just got over COVID.
Yes, me too.
Oddly, my mother gave it to me. Hi, Mom. Love you, Mom. Like, she's on here. She's on the YouTube side of this all.
Oh,
So yeah, hi, Mom. Anyway, I actually called COVID the Great Pause.
yes, it was.
The pause of where we all had to pull our energy in,
Yeah.
not even just go out there, but we couldn't. We're always so busy, 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 scattered, scattered,
Yeah.
scattered all over the place. And here we
Yeah.
have COVID. You can't go out. So now it was almost like a forced
You have to
turn
think. Yeah.
your attention within. Bring
Yes.
it in wherever you are. Wait, here I have to put this on. My mom's like, love you too. Yeah,
Oh,
sure, all that. So yeah, called that the great pause. So it doesn't surprise me. It was I'm not gonna lie, I welcomed it at first.
yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? It didn't bother me at all. I thought, oh well, you know what? I'm already set up to work out of home. I'm gonna be okay. But I just felt really sorry for people that were taking it so hard.
Yeah,
They weren't really understanding, or they really felt like their freedom was being infringed. And for me, like I thought, "Oh, I'm gonna get a break." Like,
yeah,
I was exhausted, I think, and I'm just being very, transparent. I was so exhausted from being on tour and running here and running there. It was actually like a bit of a break, but I tell you, after a couple of years, I couldn't wait to get back to it. So,
yeah, yeah.
I had enough of a break now. That's enough.
And you're rocking and rolling now. You've got your
Having fun.
spirit tour going
Yeah,
on, and I'll put up a link for that if you're in Canada, because you're not here, right? It's
that's
only
right.
in
Yeah.
Canada. Yeah. So I'll put up a link for that later. But yeah, we are shifting and changing and at a rapid pace. And in fact, it even feels like time is accelerating. And it's actually, so it's funny. I had a class the other day. I take these mastery courses, and in the class, they were talking about that actually time is not necessarily moving faster, we are.
Yes, we are. Actually, you're right.
And I really had never looked at it from that perspective.
Yeah.
And so, knowing that in spirit there's no time or space, like there's no, spirit doesn't look at the watch and say,
No,
oh, it's
there's
dinner
no time.
time, or
That's right.
or whatever. They go, hey, let's go to Paris, and they go,
Yeah.
or
Bing.
bing, that's it. Not even before you can say bing. And
Yeah.
so it's super interesting that as we increase our awareness, how that affects all of us.
Yeah.
So, oh gosh. So
Oh, poor Brenda.
I have, okay, what did I miss?
Well, she just was
Working
just
in
oh, yeah, what
healthcare.
horrific.
Yeah.
Well,
My
for
niece worked in
heroes.
healthcare.
Yeah, heroes these people were. I
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you all. And by the way, we are looking at all of your, that's why my eyes keep going to the side there is we're looking at all these. It doesn't leave a lot of room if I put it up there.
Yes.
It cuts.
That's all good.
Is it all good? Okay.
I can see them.
So Jay can see it, and we love all your comments, and people are commenting from all over the place. Folks on YouTube, I don't know, if you want to say hello, because we can see where you're all at, and it looks like you're coming in from all over the world. Lots of Canada.
Yeah.
Lots of Canada from what it looked like.
Yes.
So I have so many questions for you, Jay.
Yes, please
Yeah.
ask me. I love
So
that.
let us dive right in.
All right.
We have some parallels that I'll actually bring up, and we're gonna get to live readings for sure, and
Yeah.
spend a good chunk there as well. So I'm sure we're not going to get to everything and all the questions, or we'd be here for months. My mother told me she's logging out at 12 o'clock if we stay like till that long, but we're not going to stay for that. But we can start the convo, answer some of your questions. Oh, we've got Nova Scotia in here
Mhm.
too. Wow.
I
And
know.
Chicago and various places. I think we got New Mexico. We have all
Ireland.
kinds of different places. Maryland.
Ireland.
Oh, Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
There was someone.
Española, Ontario.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hispaniola, you're so
This is
you're cute.
incredible. So you mentioned in your bio
Yeah.
that your mother was a seer and tea leaf reader. And so
Oh.
she was like already in that spiritual realm. Was that weird growing up that way? Like,
That's all I knew. Like that's all I knew. Like my mother started doing readings when she was like 9, and my she left home when she was 12 years old, and she was very gifted, and actually went to live with some Chinese people in Sudbury. She come from a farm. Her dad had a farm, and she came to live in Sudbury. And she worked for some Chinese people that owned a place called the Radio Lunch. And they took her in because she was only 12 years old. And they taught her to speak Chinese, but they also taught her how to read tea leaves properly because she had started learning when she was 9, and they were right into that. So the lady helped her read tea leaves and just told her that she could see the future. And so my mom was predominantly psychic. She started her psychic business in 1961, and I was born in 60. And so I grew up with
Oh,
that.
we're the same age, girly.
Yeah, yeah, we're the
Yep,
same age.
1960.
But the thing is, I grew up with that. I had people over every day having readings over. My mom used to do them in the kitchen, with their tea leaves and the cup, and you had to turn it 3 times, make a wish, that kind of thing. But
Oh,
my
I love
mom
it.
was, yeah, my mom's really good. And then the police, she has found some bodies for the police, so she had done that a few times. My
Oh, that's
mom's also
incredible.
a healer. I don't talk about it much, but she could stop bleeding, and take away pain. And she was really good at that. I don't have those abilities, mind you. I think I have some medical intuitiveness, because I could tell
Mhm.
when people are sick or what's wrong with them sometimes. I remember hugging a lady and telling her, "You got a tumor at the back of your left lung on the outside of it. You need to get that checked, and like right away."
Yeah.
And she did. And it was just really weird, and it just came out of my mouth. But I don't know. My mother always taught me to ignore why I was feeling these, like why, and
Right.
just trust and just say what it is that you're feeling. Don't question it. It's not for you to know why, it's just for you to communicate and for you to serve. And my mother was always like that. She was of the very high opinion that God had given her this gift, and gift was God's influence flows through. So GIFT, right? And my
Love it. Oh, I love it.
yeah, so God's influence flows through. And she said that Joseph, my real name is Joseph Ann, Joseph the father, Jesus, and the mother of Mary. So she said that she gave me to God so that I can continue serving because she knew I was gifted. She said I'd been born like this, but I started noticing as I got older, is especially in the grocery store. When I was about 9 years old, I saw my very first human spirit. I had felt things, heard things, sensed things, knew things before that. But when I was 9, it was like an eye opener for me because this thing popped out of nowhere. And it's like,
So you saw it? You actually saw
I
the
saw
being, like it had a
a man.
body.
Yeah, I saw a man with no legs. And some people, like, sometimes if I see spirits, sometimes I'll see them as solid beings, and then they just like
Right.
disappear, or just like they're there 1 second, gone the next. It's like, what the hell? Or I'll see them peripherally. But the thing is, this was like a golden, like almost, it was the
Yep,
weird
yep,
thing.
yep, yep.
And we were,
Spirit is gold.
yeah,
There's a lot
it
of,
was
yeah.
golden for me, and it had just popped up in front, and he was talking to the woman that was like, and he was behind her shoulder, and he was saying, twin futsmage, ça fait 3 semaines. And that means, honey, you haven't eaten. It's been 3 weeks. You haven't eaten. You have to start eating. You're going to get sick. And I kept on hearing this, and I was crying. My mom, like, what's wrong? What's
Aw.
wrong? And I told her, Jerry wants her to eat. And she goes, Jerry. And I said, like, that man with no legs. And she's like looking at me like I'm like, what the hell? And then the woman turned around and she says, what did you just say? So I told her, I said, Jerry Witzmausch, like, he wants you to eat. And it's been 3 weeks. And she dropped everything there and ran outside. And it was a Dominion's grocery store. It was in Hanmer, Ontario. I still remember it. It was in 1969. I still remember it was like the end of summer because we got watermelon. It was mushy and we had to eat it anyways. I
Funny,
still
the memories you
Well, I remember that day because I got the licking of my life. I couldn't sit down for 3 weeks. And my dad told me 3 reasons I was getting licking. A, you don't talk to strangers ever without our permission. Two, they're gonna think you're nuts. They're gonna lock you up in North Bay. And I thought North Bay is it's a town not far from here, but they had an asylum for insane people.
oh,
And so for a long time I thought I was going to jail. I didn't know that there was like a crazy house there. Like I No offense to anybody, but that's what I thought at the time. And when I turned 15, I figured it out real fast because people was telling me the sand was there. I was like, oh my God. And then I started coming to realization that maybe my dad, thought I belonged there. But for a long time, I think my father just kind of wanted to protect me, you know?
Mhm.
And so he just told me basically to never talk like that because people would have the opinion that there was something really wrong with me. Not only were we French, but I went to a Catholic school, and that was difficult for me too. You
Yeah,
know,
see?
the nuns were difficult. Let me tell you, a lot of times I got whipped at the back of the knees because my mother did the work of the devil. I can write a book, but at the end of the day, I don't have anything against religion or anything like that. I respect everybody, but baby, I was born this way. So I can't help but be like this. And I don't know how to be any other way, I guess, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I grew up in a family where we were all sensitive, we were all intuitive, we were all, and I put up because I want to get to this question in a second, but we all, like when you grow up around that, my great grandmother Veneziana was a faith healer and a reader in Romania. She read, I
Very
believe,
cool.
coffee and tea, but it's my understanding she did something called lead readings. This is what my grandma told me,
I've never heard of it.
where yeah, that there was something where she would take she would like melt lead, right, and take a ladle and then have a cold pot over somebody's head and pour it, and then she would read whatever the
How it felt
yeah,
like.
not too dangerous, right?
Yeah, right.
Doing that above somebody's head. But she would read like the formations in the pot. I mean, this is what I remember from a really long time ago. I know I'm not making it up because it's just so strange, right? And so I grew up in this family where, my parents went to some yoga center and shipped me off when I was 16 there, and they were doing hands-on healings at
Yep.
that place. And so when you grow up with it, it's different. Like my mom never poo-pooed all the weird dreams that I had, and
Yeah.
where if I didn't want to go into a space because I felt like it was evil in there, like I had, in fact, I remember one of my first experiences. My mom doesn't even know this. When my grandpa died, uh, my grandpa Frank, so on my dad's side, they thought something was wrong with me because I wasn't crying, I wasn't getting upset.
Mhm.
And I couldn't understand why everybody was telling me that, why are you not upset? Like, what's going on? I mean, they were almost angry. There was all this stuff
Yeah.
going on. And I see Grandpa Frank in the corner.
Yeah.
I
You're
could
fine.
smell his cigars.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So you're not gonna
Like,
miss somebody you still
and
see.
so it was a little confusing to me when, everybody's grieving and then asking me, oh my God, there's something wrong with her because she's not crying. She's not feeling anything. It's like, um, okay, so so that was that part of the family. Veneziana was on the other side of the family
Yeah.
where it was a little more accepted,
Yeah.
but it's really something that we don't know any different, right? We just are. People ask me all the time, and I have instances that I remember, but at the same time, it's like, to me, and this is really bad, I almost took them for granted.
Yeah. You do.
Because, oh yeah, so I heard somebody call my name and there was nobody there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody dream in color?
Well,
Doesn't everybody?
that's the thing. You start to think people are like you, and then when you turn into a teenage, well, I know in my teenage year, I started figuring out that a lot of people weren't like me. Actually, when I was 9, I started figuring out a lot of people weren't like me. But I think it's because my dad made me feel different. But
Yeah.
I knew at that point that I was. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting. So, Sylvie asked a question, and actually, I just kind of caught it and I threw it up there. I know she asked it a while ago, but I think it's important. So, what do you mean when you say spirit? I know what I mean, so I'll explain. This is the thing that animates us. It
Yeah.
is the spirit, the spark, the piece of God that we are.
Hmm.
What we've got here is a human suit
Yeah.
that we sort of chose in this life to we want to have certain experiences. So the type of body that you have is all about your experiences that you want, the family that you're born into. So when we talk about spirit, it's the all that is, the spiritual part of us, of everyone else, that spark that makes us alive. How would you describe it?
Well, that is spirit for me, I think, for when you're living here. But if you're referring to dead people, I would think that it's energies that have passed away, human.
Mm.
And once you transform, you have an instant body soul transformation. You transfer right through to spirit once you reach that golden veil. So once you cross into the afterlife. And so that for me encompasses spirit. And
Mhm.
so they're human spirits, but there's different type of spirit, right?
Yeah, there's all kinds of different
All
kinds of spirit.
kinds,
Yeah.
but that's predominantly what I work with is that kind of spirit, and I know you do a lot of teachings and you connect with
Mhm.
people in that, but with me, I think I deal more with the, like, trying to educate people about the death part rather.
Yeah, no, this is
Yeah,
why you're so amazing at what you do,
yeah,
because you're really um, explaining that. And I'm just so can I put this up for a second because I have to laugh because
yes,
people ask this all the time. Are there spirits around you?
yes,
Let me tell you, there's spirits around everybody. There's spirits who we would consider, and I try to stay away from judgment, but good spirits,
yeah,
bad
and
spirits.
yes,
There's spirits that look out for us. There's spirit guides.
yeah.
Just finish that sentence, Jay. Just take it and
There's
run.
all yeah, there's all kinds, but every person has normally at every given time in the day 3 to 5 spirits around them. So if I go to the mall, it's really loud in my head because there's a lot of spirit there. Sometimes you'll have spirits that are grounded there, or like I call them ghosts. So people that don't know they're dead, but they're still shopping.
Yep.
Believe it or not, I feel like that. Sometimes I feel my grandmother with me, especially when I'm going to look for underwear. She's always like, "Don't wear those skinny little underwear." Yeah. So she used to. So I still feel her around when I believe it or not, I do. I'm actually very conscious about the type of things that I buy because of her and because I feel her in my head. But we're gonna have any given day, we're always gonna have spirits, no matter where we go. You have spirits that are more active in certain places than others, but there's always spirits around. So for me, there's always. But Sheila, I was feeling someone in January for you, or October, or the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of any month, and somebody who died very suddenly. So that's what I was getting. So I had to tell her that.
Yeah, no. That's really good, and we're gonna go there in just a short
Yeah.
second because I want to actually add a little bit to that too. Because women out there, and it doesn't matter what age you are, we have baby beings around us,
Yes.
beings that who want to be born or want to be born to our family members and things like that. So there are so many different kinds of spirits, uh, and it's just we get used to. In fact, actually, when we got on a little bit early to talk, and I said, Jay, how do you handle all this? I woke up this morning and I was like, everybody was clamoring and pulling at me, say hello to me, say hello to me, say hello to me. And it was all of your loved ones and all of even mine who have crossed over, people that I've known. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I thinking about all of you? And then I had all this grief come up because I realized, oh my gosh, I was processing a bunch of grief for people
Yep. Yep.
because of that. And I was like, no, that I gotta, that's fine. That's not, I don't need to do that. But whoa, what a day.
You know what though? It's like that. When I was on tour with James Van Prague, I remember going for a walk in Ottawa. We went to the side of the canal and we'd gone for this beautiful walk. We'd spent 3 hours just walking and swinging on swings because we had fun too. And I remember him saying, "Oh, I have to pay attention to that." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "See that sign right there?" He goes, "Spirit just told me I'm going to mention that tonight." And he goes, "It's going to come up." And so we didn't even know where we were because I'd never been there and he sure has not ever been there.
Yeah.
And it did come up. It came up in a second reading right away. He says, he
Chills.
says, "I saw something today and this relates to you." And she says, "I have a bench just 15 feet from that post in honor of my husband." That was wild.
See,
That was wild.
I
Yeah.
get chills.
Yeah.
I can't. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, but it was amazing. But they will start bothering you because they knew you were going to be here today with me. So that's
Yeah,
why.
they
Oh,
were talking, and I mean, I get it in readings, and I get it. And I'm just going to tell one little story, and then we're gonna really jump in. So everyone, just get we're getting there, and I appreciate your patience. Oh, actually, so I should say I am here because here here we are, like already 40 minutes. So I am here with the world renowned and amazing psychic medium, Jay Lane. Welcome, Jay. This is like a little station identification. I am Debbie Tatel from spiritlightinsight.com. I do readings, teaching, healing work. I do communicate with spirit, not like Jay does. Different. It's a very different experience. If grandma pops in your reading and says, tell her she needs to bake cookies, I'm going to tell you that. But that's about it. That's whatever comes up. Jay can be reached. So I can be reached at spiritlightinsight.com. And then Jay can be reached at mediumjlane.com. Otherwise, you're going to get some guy who is like some marketing exec if you just put in Jay Lane. So
yes.
it's mediumjlane. Maybe I did discover that.
You know what? I have two famous friends that are Jay Lane. One's from Australia,
Oh my
and
God.
yeah, and he's amazing. He used to be like a weather guy in the helicopter. And another Jay Lane from the States who's a drummer. He's a famous in a
Yeah,
big
that
band.
was one of those ones came up.
Yeah,
It was so
yeah,
funny. So you have to put in mediumjlane.com.
that's right.
And I'm gonna put this little guy. Oh, if you want to see Jay live, she is doing her spirit tour. So I'm gonna put this up.
Yes.
Even though that's a QR code, and technically you can aim your phone at that and go right to that spirit tour scheduling page and buy your ticket, and look at the different dates. This is also going to put a link in all of the timelines, all of the comment sections. So you can actually find the link there. Also, and I didn't put this one up, but I'll put it on the YouTube channel tomorrow for the tour schedule for Canada. If you want to book a session or check out what I've got going on, go to spiritlightinsight.com, my booking site. And again, you can see all that I have to offer here. But we are here and we are about to do some live readings. So we will get there. So this is very exciting. I'm still fangirling. I'm still like, I don't know what's happening. Well, at least we figured out where we met.
Yes, actually. So you were talking about Ali, right?
Allie Cheslick, who
Yeah.
I feel like is here today.
Oh, you know what? She was an amazing woman. She really encouraged me when I started. And she
I
was
mean,
just, yeah, she encouraged me. You go out there, girl, and you go get them. And what she said, you listened. Okay. She said it the way it was, but I love that about her. And I
yeah.
miss her. How long has she been gone now? Oh, my goodness. Been a
You
while.
know, I can't remember all I know is that I remember the day specifically. I knew she was going to leave
Oh,
before
my
her
goodness.
last surgery.
Yes.
And I went to bed that night, and every hour I got up and I was checking my phone. And I
Oh,
went to her kids' timeline. I went to her timeline, and all night. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I did not sleep all night long. And sometimes I get a very sort of a high vibration, that
yeah.
high pitched, because I have a clear audience. And so I
Yes.
can hear that
Yep.
different vibration, that different communication. And honest to God, I don't even remember what time it was, but I remember seeing it. It was like a crazy time. Um, so yeah, she was amazing, but I couldn't remember. I'm like, well, yeah, I know it was 2009, and I wasn't even doing readings publicly. I was doing them privately, and somehow she came to me and she got a reading. She was like, "Oh my God, girl!" And I was like charging like $25 or something.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. She,
no, you're coming on my radio show and you're gonna hike your price. She's like, you don't understand.
yeah.
You need to do this.
Oh yeah, but you know what? She was very encouraging. I met her through Andrew,
Mhm.
so he's the rock and roll medium, And you know Andrew, of course,
I
but
do.
yeah, I love
We're
Andrew.
buds.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And so I've known him for as long as I've known you, of course, but that's how I met your bunch of people.
And that's how I met him.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
Allie was a catalyst that
I think so
tied in
too.
a whole bunch of people. So it's
He was.
really kind of nice. So well, I was, it's interesting because we were talking about you know, and your abilities and you getting punished and all of that. And part of what I do and what I teach, so I say I teach clairvoyant development, which is true, but you're not developing your clairvoyance in my classes. What I teach you to do is how to ground and center and clear the noise. Like Jay and I were just talking about how it can get really loud.
Yeah.
And how to be in your own space so that you can begin to focus and actually hear this information. But messages from spirit are so powerful just overall in their own right. And I want to tell a little story before we get into this, because this is something that I was kind of I wanted to talk about the ego part.
Oh yes.
Maybe so when people, well, you know what, I'm just going to go into my story because everybody's chomping at the bit for readings,
Yes.
and let's just do that. But I want to share with you a story that happened because what happens when we clear the noise, right? And Jay just has this natural ability. I don't even know, like, I don't have that. I don't have the ability to walk in a room with 750 or 1,000 people and pick out the energy. I could read you if you say something to me, but I don't have that. Okay, I have this message from so and so to so and so. But the other day I was working with a clairvoyant student whose brother crossed over due to a drug overdose. It was really devastating to her. And in fact, he crossed over in like literally a parking lot. And she felt very good. I mean, she's been devastated. It was only 2 months ago.
Oh,
And one of the things that I noticed is the obituary was one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen, because the obituary got it.
yeah.
They talked about his spirit, not how he ended up living his life and then leaving.
Oh wow. That's very cool.
And I've never seen that before.
That's very cool.
And they really understood that, but she felt horribly guilty because she had to walk away from him because it was he was doing drugs. And the way I see that is a being gets in his space, a user, I call it a user being.
Yeah.
A user being comes in and uses that body to get high.
Yeah.
And it's usually because the person's in pain that happens.
Yeah.
But I had her clear her space and say hello to him in spirit, which, by the way, I'm going to teach you all to do in the meditation if you stick around. I held space for the communication, but here's what was amazing. She was able to actually not even cry. She looked at him. She goes, "Oh my God, he's beautiful." She was looking at his spirit, and I knew it because I could see the look on her face, even though her eyes were closed. And she sent him a hello. I said, "Well, what happened when you said hello?" And she said, "Oh my gosh, he just brightened up."
Wow.
Because when you say hello to spirit, they get bright. They're recognized.
Well, they're happy.
And they're happy.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Well, see if he has a communication for you." And she started to get a little emotional. And I said, "What did he say?" And she said, "Well, I've been feeling so guilty that I walked away. And he told me he's okay.
Yeah.
He told me it's all okay and that he's free and all of that, and that she shouldn't feel guilty, that he's okay."
Isn't that great though? Honestly, isn't that great that she got the message just by opening up that channel?
just by opening that up and I mean, I'm holding space for it, but it wasn't me. All I
Yeah.
did was keep that space grounded so that that could happen.
Yeah.
And so really, I want to ask you, in your practice, when you communicate with souls from the other side, like, what is your process to get that going? Is it you see spirit, which is your clairvoyance, your clear seeing? Do you hear it all the time, clairaudience? Or do you know, which is your crown chakra, your knowingness?
I get the download. I get the download. It's like sometimes I just hear things and I'll start like, or I see things. I'm really connected to numbers and food. So I'll
Food.
say to someone, "Did
Okay.
you just have a burger at 11 o'clock this morning with jalapenos on it?" It's like, yes. So then I know spirits around them because I believe I see through their eyes.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yep.
And then I get the download. It's like I just know, and it's weird. It's like I could tell the story, and it's not like I'm making it up. It just comes out, and I could tell the story, and it's usually accurate. So I just kind of let that happen. I used to try to figure it out, but I don't anymore. But it's always on for me. And people say, "Well, how'd you turn it off?" You can't. For me, I can't. I can learn to ignore it, but it's like asking someone to go blind, right? Can you go blind for 5 minutes, please? No, I can't do that. Well, neither can I. I can't turn it off, right? But it's always on, Deb. I don't know. It's just I've always just let it be because I've always thought that was just normal. You know what I mean? I don't know any other way. Like I've been like this since I'm a kid. It's just that sometimes what I do is I try to I always do it for the good of people. I won't just go up to someone and say, "Hey, I just feeling this." I'll always
Yeah.
ask them, "Are you open to receiving?" Because I'm in
We
medium.
always have to ask,
Yes.
always have to
Yeah.
ask. For any of you folks who are dabbling in this,
Yeah.
and thank you, I don't mean to interrupt, but
No, but it's true.
I want to make sure, don't ever just read people. We never just read people. That's like,
Yeah.
it's like being like peeping Tom in a bathroom, right? You might see it,
Yeah.
but you have to ask because they might not be open, they might not be willing. And also, I just had to block somebody from one of the channels, just so
Yeah.
you know.
Watch
So if you
trolls.
get a message and somebody tags you on any of these, on any of our channels on YouTube or on Facebook or the Infinity Family, anywhere, uh, let me know, but do not reply to them. They are basically trolls who are jumping in here where they don't belong, trying to poach clients, basically. But we don't know who they are. And so, unless I put it up or Jay puts it up,
Yeah.
and I just blocked somebody who said, it looks like to one of my people, give me your email address and, I have a message for you. And it happens all the time,
Yeah.
which sadly is one reason I don't use that chat overlay, because then their information's there forever.
Well, that's
But
it, and it's there forever, and I get it. No,
yeah.
and I remember you telling me that, but you're gonna get a lot of trolls. I was impersonated actually last week, and I had a few
Oh,
clients that were ripped off, and it's unfortunate, because I always tell people I would never go after anyone for reading. It's either you go to my website. I don't have time to chase people,
yeah,
honestly, and
exactly.
it's not my
And
style.
I don't either, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you so much. Sorry for sharing that. I didn't mean
Oh,
to interrupt,
good.
but I had the troll over here and your process over there.
No, no,
So
that's
you
all good.
just get the whole download. And
Yeah,
one last piece that I found super interesting, and I want to remind everyone. So Jay wrote a book, Dying to Know. It is free, 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 free.
yeah, yeah.
And you can get it if you want to join her website
Mm-hmm.
on. So you can go to Medium. Hang on.
MediumJLane.com.
Medium J Lane. It's not that hard. I know, but I'm trying to get it up here. MediumJLane.com. And one of the things that you said, which is so important, because I try to tell people this, because people go into grief and they think, are they mad at me that I
Yeah.
didn't help them? Or are they hurting? Or
Yep,
are they have all these questions,
they
which are
do.
really human questions, ego questions. So what you said in Dying to Know is that the soul does not take the ego with them.
No,
Our ego is a human thing. The soul is free of
human.
physical, emotional, and mental. What we talked about right before this was that I see that a being collects up their energy before they go. I
Yes.
watched it with my father. I watched it with my grandma. I saw my grandma on what is called the bardo, like that kind of in between before death,
Yes.
which was amazing. But can you explain just a little bit more about that ego part of so that when you do read in about 2 seconds,
They'll understand.
that people will kind of understand that?
Well, the ego is something that belongs to human, and we need it actually because that's how we learn things emotionally, physically, mentally through our physical and emotional experiences. And so we have to have that ego, and we have to have good people and bad people to make this world go around. But the thing is, when we die, we have this very instant body to soul transformation. So it doesn't take 20 minutes to get there, but you leave the body behind and the ego behind. And I remember, quotation. I forget who it was right off the top of my head, but you'll never see a hearse, a U-Haul behind a hearse, right? So the thing is, it's the same thing with the ego. You can't take it with you. So when someone crosses, I believe that when they cross through that realm, that they understand the impact that they've had in this lifetime. And so they know that they were human, and they understand the human ego, but they no longer carry that with them. So spirits or human spirits are free of ego. So a lot of times we think that people are going to be alone on the other side, or they're judging, or let's say they had an argument with someone before they died. I've had a lot of people saying my dad was mad at me before I died. Is he still mad at me? Impossible for a spirit to be upset. Very impossible, because they don't have that ego. They understand that they may have had that experience, and they can replay that experience and review it if they want. But absolutely no, they do not take that ego with them. And thankfully, because the thing is, I think that it would be difficult to think that our loved ones are suffering on the other side. And in fact, Debbie, when you mentioned that book, I also, those were the most asked questions that I answered when I did that book.
Mhm.
But what I did also is I did a workshop from it, and it's called Dying to Know. No, sorry, that's a book. It's called Grow Through Grief.
Yes.
And it's to make people understand the difference between humans and spirits, and how spirits feel or think, and how humans feel and think, and why the spirit doesn't carry that with them. There's a huge explanation to it, but at the end of the day, it's impossible for them to carry that as part of their consciousness. They're just very highly evolved, highly energetic, vibrate. They can You can have million spirits, like the same spirit separate itself in millions of pieces and be
Right.
in a million places at one time. So it's like a very powerful, very energetic, very happy. A lot of people, and another question I just want to broach on this, because so many people ask me this, is that, are they sad for me when I cry? Because I don't want to make my mom cry. They're
Oh,
not.
excellent. That's an excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not really. If you think about it, spirit could be around you when you cry. So let's say if I'm crying because I've lost my mother would be around, but she would not feel sorry for me. That ego part is gone. She would have an understanding that I'm having a human moment, in that I'm missing her because she's no longer here. But she would understand that this is a healthy thing, because of course we're going to miss these people.
Right.
I think the reason why we miss them so much is because we have time here compared to their time. And also, I think we have that conception, like, I could stub my toe once a month or something. It hurts like hell, but I don't die every month. You know what I mean? It's not like we've had the experience of death, so we don't know what the heck's waiting for us there. And I think that's what makes us so afraid that our loved ones are in limbo, or maybe lost, or alone on the other side. Trust me, they're never alone, and
Oh, they're never alone.
no, and they're never sad. They've got their little noses poked everywhere, as far as I'm concerned, because I know I'm always around them, but they're never sad. I've never met a spirit that's depressed or sad. I've met grounded souls that were in limbo, because, of course, they're in between realms and they haven't quite crossed through. So some of them don't know they're dead, and sometimes they could
Right.
sit there for a long time. And like I say, 100 years might be feeling like 2 minutes for them. Like, it's
Yeah.
totally different, you know?
And that's when we were also talking about that, because I have personally given healings to souls who have crossed over, who just had little pieces
Yeah.
where they couldn't let go,
Yeah. Yeah.
to fully cross over and go back to the oneness of spirit,
Yeah.
and or travel the world, or whatever they wanted to do. And
Exactly.
it's, but 9 times out of 10, if I were to look at them in their, let's say, their human suffering,
Yeah.
right, if they have cancer, or if they have, some kind of illness, versus seeing them when they cross over. And I've actually done work with people. I actually help people transition.
Yeah.
I don't know how or why,
Yeah.
but I do it, and it's just kind of, that's a natural thing that I seem to know, and I seem to gravitate
Yeah.
and have those people come to me.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that when you see them just after crossing over, a lot of times there's still the drug energy or whatever, if they were
Yes.
in a hospital, and I actually help them release that, and then
Yeah.
they just
They're
then
just
they
on their
look like
way.
they end up all gold or white, or these beautiful things, and you generally get a thank you, and they're gone.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. You could feel the appreciation. It's almost like you could feel that love. Like it's like powerful. I love it too. I've crossed spirits over. A lot of people want me to go do it, but I just don't have the time. That's my problem. Or even like hauntings, because I love that kind of stuff.
oh, I love that stuff.
Me too.
We should do a thing.
We should
We
do
should do a
I should come
thing.
to Chicago, have your pizza, and then do like maybe an
We can do that. And you know what? We have haunted stuff. You have no idea. We've got everything from cemeteries to buildings, because I've been on every ghost tour. I go on a ghost tour wherever I go.
Yeah, I just went to Nashville. That was enough for me. Like, you ever go there? The energy's
No, I'm sure that
it's crazy wicked. I mean, I've been to New York. New York, there was a lot too with 9/11.
yeah.
I've been
I'm
on
sure.
Yeah, but Nashville's got to be the creepiest like spirit place for
Oh,
me.
I don't know. I thought New Orleans was pretty.
I've never been like right to New Orleans.
Oh, you go to New Orleans and you'll be like, oh, Nashville.
Yeah.
Because New Orleans is like on a whole. I have not been to Nashville, so legit, but I have been to New Orleans several times, and
Wow.
I guarantee you'll be like, oh, Nashville? No, that's nothing, because New Orleans has everything from the
Oh, I could just
voodoo
imagine
to
with
the
all of
Indians, because there was a whole there's all kinds of lore, but I
I
don't.
could just
don't want to
imagine.
get, I just, when you were saying that, I'm like, oh no, New Orleans, where there's a house like where they ate people, like that. That was. I
Isn't
got
there a song about that? There is a house in New Orleans.
yes, except for it wasn't the House of the Rising Sun, boy.
That's
I'll tell
right.
you, that was yikes. But yeah, there's lots of beautiful things. Well, hello everyone who is just popping on. I'm Debbie Tatel from Spirit Light Insight, clairvoyant, mentor, guide, teacher, all that good stuff. I am here with Jay Lane. The amazing psychic medium Jay Lane. I am a huge fan.
Oh my God.
If you like what we are doing here, if you are, feel free to join my YouTube channel or Jay's YouTube channel. You can find her right. I don't know if that's on your website, but please do subscribe, like, and share. I've got a Facebook page. Communicate with both of us. We love to hear from you. We love your questions. So if you're enjoying what's going on here, please do subscribe, like, and share. If you want to add a tip, I think Jay's got stars on her.
No, I don't have stars. They're there. Some people give me stars, but I don't even know how to.
So no, this is not what I was doing. I was doing this, and oops, I have to turn that. Hang on off. I'll get there. I will get there, because I don't want.
I like the little flowers at the bottom.
So I know I like I have to. I do like clever little things. But if you're enjoying this and you want to throw a little tip love our way, because that's what keeps these channels and these shows going, because it's as much as it's our time, but it's also free. But this little QR code is going to show up as just a link in all the timelines. Feel free to use the link. If you're interested in Jay's spirit tour, which I love, go ahead, and that will also put a link up so that you can check out the tickets for Jay's spirit tour throughout Canada. And if you'd like to book a session, go to mediumjlane.com. She does group and private sessions. Right, I got that. And
you did.
then if you'd like to book a session with me, just go check out what I've got at spiritlightinsight.com/booking. But this will link directly to it in the timeline. So, oh my goodness, I think we are at that. Wait a minute. This is, oops. Oh, my thing is all changing. You're welcome, Carol Ann.
Very
This
cute.
is lovely. I can't get to all the comments because God bless you all. They're coming through so quick that I'm reading them. So rest assured, we're reading all the comments on that you're sending through. So thank you so much. So without further ado, I mean, we've been talking about spirit, we've been talking about seeing spirit, and now I want you to do what you do best.
Oh, I love doing it.
And there's been people in the comments, if you need me to scroll back.
There was a girl named Sheila that I told her, like, remember when she asked that question and I said, there's something to do about January or October? I don't know if
Yes.
Sheila's still here.
Sheila, if you're still here, just put a message in the chat. It'll take a second, but Jay, you can go ahead and read and then
yeah. So Sheila, I don't know if you're still here. Something to do with a female coming through for you. There she is. Hi, Sheila Rivard. See that name up there, Sheila
there she
Rivard?
is.
Yeah, there she is. So Sheila, I just need to know, do you have January or October around you, or the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th? You have female coming through that makes me feel the past very quickly or very suddenly. So just to let you know that, I just need to know if you understand the January or the October or the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th, because that's still coming through. So she's still here,
She's
but
probably still here. I have a delay, unfortunately, on the messages. So when you
okay.
actually read, there's a little bit of a delay until it comes through. So the second she gets on there, and Marianne, we might we'll see if something comes through for you. So here we go. Her mother-in-law
Was born in October and died in January. So Sheila, she's around you. And the thing is, this female comes through. She wants you to know that everything is going to be okay. They do make me feel that there had been some stresses around you last 3-4 months, maybe. So if you go back 4 months from now, maybe April, May, or whatever, but they make me feel like things getting a little bit better. So I hope you understand that. They also talk about February or November or the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th. But I always feel like someone died of like a cancer or disorders of the blood, but they make me feel that they didn't know until it was too late. So there's something to do with that as well, Sheila. So just to let you know. Okay, but your love from above, but don't worry. And if things have been going a little rough last 4 or 5 months, they do make me feel a lot better moving forward. They just make me feel there's a little bit of relief for you, sweetie. Okay, she said yes, she understands it. Okay. Thank you so much, Sheila, but you're loved from above, sweetie. So this one says, hi, I'm from Staten Island, New York. I know it because I've been there very many times. I've been having major back and leg issues. Doctor sent me for x-rays and MRIs and have not come up with anything that's wrong. So first of all, I'm going to be honest with you. I almost feel like there's something wrong with like a lower, like L3 or L4. I don't know if like there was like not a herniation, but like a bulge at one time that went back in. But I almost feel like that. I feel like there's spasms to the outside of my leg from the ankle up to the knee for whatever reason. It's just what I'm feeling. So I don't know if you can understand that, Mary. The other thing I was thinking also, there's a spirit coming through that keeps on talking about 4s or 8s. What that is for me is either April or August. And if it's not April, it's the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of any month. And if it's not August, it's the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th. So she said yes. So she understands exactly what I'm talking about. But they talk about this bulge or something. So I almost feel like those discs, looks like L3 and L4. To be very honest, I'm not seeing the last one, but they make me feel like some kind of pushed out and pushed back in somehow. So the thing is, if you did injure yourself, I always feel like there's like an impingement there. And I don't know if, like, and please don't get mad at me, but I'm just going to say it the way it is. I don't know if you're like a little bit heavier set in the hips or through like the middle a little bit, unless you're just very tiny. But the thing is, sometimes when we're a little heavy, it really pushes up on the nerves, especially if we sit too long. So just be careful around that. But I almost feel like that. So I'm so sorry to say that. She says, April is my son's birthday and August is my birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I I
definitely.
have something about this too. So
Oh,
you let
good.
me know when you're done.
No, but that's what I was feeling. And the thing is, they make me feel that connection to April, August, very important to mention. But they do make me feel that things are going to get better, Mary. But I almost feel like, there needs to be something else done, or you have to look at something else. But I'm going to let maybe my sweet friend here will have a little bit more insight. Go ahead, sweetie.
So no, that was great. I just wanted to add, because the first immediately that came up, Mary, when I was even reading the question, which is why I popped it up there to look, is that there's a gray energy kind of surrounding you all the way at the back, and it looks like it's right in kind of your aura, like where we would have, there's a space where when like we're healthy, there's a vibrant space in there. And so there's like a little bit of gray energy. And I keep kind of seeing kind of a male energy in there, that you are working on clearing out a bunch of energy from when you were a little girl, potentially from father or some other kind of figure, but that you are, it's like an awakening kind of in the lower back, almost by that first and second chakra area. So I don't know where the L3 or L, any of that, I don't do that, but I know I'm looking at kind of that lower back area, and that there is some energy that's really coming out from when you were very, very small, and just a little girl. And it's been something that it's as if you have kept it all to yourself, and you've kept it all kind of covered up. And it's really, and her dad passed June 16th of 2000. And so there is that space that is releasing there. But this is from when you were younger, maybe 6 years old or something like that, is kind of what I'm getting. But there's a very, and I don't know why, I also see an injury from when you were a little girl that was there, but it's connected with your father. And that's very, very strong for me, that it's somehow connected with that male figure, and that you're in the process of releasing that in present time. So that's kind of what I was looking at. And it's just all gray, like all at the back. So I don't know if you meditate or do anything, but just imagine that you're bringing in a lot of gold, like a gold sun. And if you stick around for the meditation at the end, I'm going to teach you how to do that. So that might be something you're interested in, but that's, if the doctors can't figure it out, that's the time to also say hello to your own spirit, and to what's happening within you, and your release, your own healing, not just the message, but your own healing. So that's my 2 cents. Sorry.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's
And
beautiful.
sometimes we just need to hear that. Sometimes we think, oh well, no, there's nothing there, but trust me, there could be something very strong there. And so I don't get that feeling, but that's so interesting that you get that. And that's what I love about working with other light workers, because I mean you get so much insight. But
It's
that's what I said,
all
was better than one psychic medium, two psychic mediums, right? But yeah, so that's kind of his feeling. But Mary, I think that you're going to get better, or that there are going to be some improvements around you. But just watch around, just being a little heavier in the midsection. If you aren't, just don't gain any weight there. Just be careful. All right. So Yay.
Very
I'll
well
let you
said.
I'll let
Thank
you
you.
pick somebody.
No, you go
You
pick.
want me to go? Okay, so hang on a
Yeah,
sec.
just if you, I don't know if you're on your page or do you want to do,
No, I see all of the messages here, which
oh,
is kind of
excellent.
cool. I'm seeing like your people and my people too, which is kind of cool. Let me see. I just oh, I can scroll. Ooh,
Yeah. Oh, see, I wasn't sure. You know what? Can you do Mary Ann Spellman?
where's
She
Marianne?
said she wanted a general reading, but I don't know if you,
Yeah, but general's boring. Where is she?
I
Marianne?
don't know where she,
Marianne,
I
are you?
can't even find
Oh,
it.
you're
So never
welcome,
mind.
Mary. But Marianne, where is she?
She'll have to put in another,
Yeah, but I
you're
just want.
very welcome, Mary.
Oh, she's
A
sweet. So
pleasure.
let me see. So Diane Sicard Brunette. Any messages from my mom? Oh, I lost it. Oh, she passed away on February 10th. Um, so do you see her there?
I'm sorry, what's the name?
Oh, hang on, I just lost her.
It's going so quick.
It is. It's hang on.
That's okay. I don't need, you can just,
I just want to see her name because now I forget her name. Isn't that terrible? She talked about, oh, there she is. Diana Sicard Brunette. Diana, are you still here? There she is. I'm still here, Jay. She says, see at the top? Diana, I'm
here
still
we
here.
go.
Yeah, there.
There-
Okay, so she had mentioned that her mother passed away on February 10th. Diana, can I just ask if there's June around you, or the 6th, or the 15th, or the 24th? And the other thing I wanted to ask you, October or January as well, or the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of any month, even if someone's still alive with those dates. So June or the 6th or the 15th or the 24th of any month, or January or October or 1, 10, 19, or 28, other than your mom. Okay? Because I think you said February 10th. So okay, so see that French? That's a troll. See that French comment? Pour tous vos différents problèmes d'amour, mariage. So for all your troubles in marriage, call me. And here's my
Ah,
number. So
okay. We
yeah,
can now we can, I'm blocking on Facebook and I'm blocking from Restream chat. Bye-bye.
okay, perfect. Yes.
All gone. No
All
more.
gone. So let me just reload the page because she wrote something. Oh, and now I can't get it anymore. It says, oops, something went wrong. So I'm not getting the feed anymore on the page. It asked me.
Oh, that's weird.
So I was asking her if there's something to do with June. Oh, yes. So she said yes, June. I'm just looking on my phone here. June 5th and January and October. So there is. Who's June 5th? Diana?
Ooh, I'm not getting those comments. Why am I not?
Maybe just refresh your page real quick. I don't know if you'll lose the
Mm,
feed.
let's see here. Oh no. Hope I didn't block
No,
you.
no, you're still here.
Oh wait, one of the streams is having problems.
Yes, there is. There's an. I can still see from my phone. So she says yes, June 5th and January and October. So who's June 5th? Um, so where is she? I'm just gonna go look to see my granddaughter. Okay, and who's in January or October? So I don't know if your
Okay,
granddaughter.
wait, I have her on here now.
Okay, great. Your granddaughter.
There we go.
Yes. So I don't know if your granddaughter carries someone's name as well, but the thing is, they make me feel to mention June and January or October or 1, 10, 19, or 28 or 6, 15, or 24. Now, Diana, I do think that your mom's around you all the time, but there's two other spirits with her. They make me feel that there's a back to back passing
Oh,
also that's come
Jay,
through.
you're frozen. A
Oh,
moment.
okay.
Um, no worries, you're back.
I'm back? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was feeling also a back to back passing around her. And they make me feel somebody who passed very close together or like within just a few months. So, and if October is you, Diana, I get it. But there's a back to back passing also coming through. It could be from years ago, but your mother is bringing that through. Now, I don't know if you just had pasta last couple days, but I keep on seeing pasta and they make me feel somebody's been eating a lot of chips. So, watch the chips, okay? It's just the way I'm
I
feeling.
love food readings.
Yeah, I do too, but they just talk about it being like too much. So I don't know if she says October's her or January's her niece. And so just to let you know, just watch the chips and they just make me feel the pasta was really good. I don't know if it's like the day before yesterday or the day before that, but not more than 3 days ago. All right. So if that wasn't you, Diana, definitely someone in your family had pasta, but they make me feel they come to visit there. So maybe it's even around your granddaughter because they keep on showing me that June connection, which seems to be very important, the January and the so your dad and your aunt 3 months apart. Yeah, they make me feel very close. But that's your dad and your auntie then coming through with your mom, sweetie, because the thing is for me they're all coming through, but your mom's bringing that the two that died back to back together. But don't worry about them, sweetie, and figure out, like, try to find out what your granddaughter's middle name is, or if there's something to do with that, like a middle name that was like given to her, or like some kind of honor, unless she's born on someone's birthday or on their date of passing. But there's something to do with that. They keep on mentioning this child, and it's good though, so I don't want you to worry. All right. But Diana, thank you so much for reaching out here and for being here today.
Hey, so my YouTube folks, where are you all? Come on, Richard. Richard, you want a reading? I've got a bunch of we've got Tammy on here. We've got I don't know if Angela's here. I know we've got Richard here, and you can pipe up. I want to see your names in here. I know there's a lot go scrolling by, but come on in. The water's fine.
Oh,
And then I'm just putting this one up for you, Jay. 6-year-old son has 13 surgeries
oh
and
my
two
goodness.
younger. I know. I was like, let's see what we can do
Oh,
there.
Sheena
Um,
has had 13 surgeries, two younger, and I have two younger. It's been so hard. I'm going through medical issues of my own. I'd love some news from a loved one. So, Sheena, like, there's a couple things I'm feeling. Can I just ask if there was a fire around you when you were younger, or if someone, and I don't mean anyone dying in a fire, I just need to know if there's like some kind of fire around you. If not, it means dates for me. It's just because I just saw that when we were talking. So, Sheena, do you have any? I'm going to look at my phone here too because I could see her. Let me see because I can't see any feeds here at all.
oh,
Um,
you can't from where you are?
yeah, I don't see anything.
Oh,
You're
that's
welcome,
odd.
Diana. You're welcome. If you see any of your comments, because I'm not seeing her comment
So
here.
fire is a way. Hang on. Got it. Fire is the way I relax.
Oh, I see. Okay. So maybe that's what it is. So April, August, December slash March is what someone's talking about because they make me feel if you didn't have a physical fire, and I understand fire's okay to relax, like fireplaces and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like a physical fire, like a house fire, camp that burnt down, a car or something. If not, it's April, August, December slash March, like I mentioned. Now, the thing is, I do feel that things are going to get better, but the thing is, your son is a highly evolved soul. When we have highly evolved souls in our lives, sometimes they have a little bit more difficulties or they encounter a little bit more trouble moving forward in their lives. And it's because others are learning from the pain and suffering that they're going through. And it's a very big honor to be a mom of a child that is having so much difficulty, maybe very difficult for you in a human form, but on the other side, you would have picked this before coming here. And so the thing is, it's hard to believe that we would pick such a shit show for a life. You know, why would I pick a son that is so sick and's had all these surgeries? Of course, we want our children to be happy and safe and healthy. But at the end of the day, you're dealing with a highly evolved soul. So these souls come here sometimes very selflessly to teach other people through their pain and their suffering. And also, this makes you a little bit more advanced as well. And so you're going to notice that you're going through some difficulties, but I do feel that because your energy is so low and because you've been going through so much, you're exhausted, sweetie. You're totally exhausted and you're probably burning yourself out. And so the thing is, you are going to have some medical issues. So you really need to ask for some help. And if you're not getting any help, you need to try to take some time out for yourself and just to kind of breathe, and maybe Debbie's meditation will help you once we close off, because I'm telling you, that could really help reset us and really help us focus on what it is that we want and desire a lot more. So I'm just going to leave that with you. I do feel the energy of a very strong spirit around you. I'd almost feel like that person had something wrong with their kidneys or their liver, or they were had sepsis. It's just they show me green blood, unless it's somebody that had too much drugs or alcohol in their system when they died. So the thing is, there's just something to do with that, unless it's someone with diabetes that went through dialysis. So it's the only other thing I could think of. But I have that energy around you, and they make me feel it's been gone for quite a while. So it's not something that's just like the person that just died in the last few years. I would think like 10, 15 plus years. So so she relates to it. So I understand. So you were chosen, honey, and you made an agreement to come into this world with that child. So you are, but you have to start now creating your own dialogue and starting to manifest exactly what it is that you want, because thoughts become things. Everything in this room was once a thought, if not for me, for someone else. So you really have to start thinking of what you want, letting go of that fear, because fear is really a preconceived thought of something that hasn't happened yet. And at the end of the day, you're feeding that. When we feed it, we create it. We are creators. We come here to create. We don't have to have kids to create nothing. This here, this imagination right here, is either going to create you shit shows or happy lollipops, rainbows, and lipstick. Okay. So the thing is, you have to kind of take that and really focus. And it's hard to do when you're emotionally involved in that. So that's why I'm thinking you need to step away a bit. Now, I don't know if you're from the US or from here, but in Canada, we have what's called Employee Assistance Program. So if you're working, or if you're not working, your husband has a plan, really good idea if you're going to get some counseling to release all of this that you're carrying, because emotionally you're carrying your son's pain, you're carrying your pain, you're carrying your husband's pain, you're carrying everybody else's pain, and the things that you can and can't do, and you feel really stuck. So the thing is, you have to know that things are going to get better and that the clouds are going to go away and the sun's going to start coming in, but you need to believe that. And it all starts with you.
And please, please, please stay for the meditation,
Yes.
because the 15 minutes, 20 minutes that we're going to do, maybe probably about 15 minutes, I think is going to really, really help you.
Yeah.
So that much I can tell you.
Okay. She says that, thank you so much. I have much fear. I'm trying my best. I'm from New Liskeard, and I'm going to New Liskeard. I'm hoping that you'll book a reading, because I'm going to be there. I have a couple spots left in New Liskeard. So go check it out. But you need to release and let go of that fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Like I said, it's a preconceived thought of something that hasn't happened. And in my life, there's two types of fears. I've been held up twice. And so the thing is, when you have a gun against your stomach, it's scary. And so you think you're going to die, but I decided not to die that day, and I decided to fight back. And here I am. So at the end of the day, I walked looking over my shoulder for many, many months, because they didn't catch that person for a while. And then once they caught him, I felt safer. But at the end of it all, that's what fear is. It's either a preconceived thought, unless it's impending doom fear, like you've got a gun against your stomach and you know that shit's going down. But other than that, you really need to like refocus on your mindset as to what you want, and then start thinking about what you want rather than what you don't want. That's hard to do, right, Deb?
It is. You know what I call that kind of fear? Not the impending fear,
Yeah.
but the stuff in our mind field,
Yeah.
our little minefield up there.
Yeah.
I call it false evidence appearing real.
Yeah. False evidence appearing real. That's exactly what it is.
It's all there. So Tammy asked this question a while back. So thank you for that. Hopefully everybody will stick around. But Tammy asked for husband's uncle Dale. How did he pass? More important, anything to say to his family? Many kids, no will. Well, we're not going to get into the legal aspects here in the States, but maybe Jay picks up something on that.
Well, you know what? So I have some questions. I don't know if they felt like this was suspicious somehow, or if he's responsible for his own demise. or so I don't mean like he died by suicide. What I would think, like, more or less, you know, when someone drinks too much or abuses themselves or goes out for a walk when they're half lit and walks off a cliff or something, didn't know it was there in the dark. Like, because the thing is, like, for me, I'm honestly not feeling that soul. And so the thing is, sometimes when they're like stuck like that, I'm not going to feel it. But what I do feel, Tammy, is February or November around you. There's something to do with that, unless that's when he passed. So February or November or the second of any month, the 11th, like 1 + 1 is 2, the 20th or the 29th of any month. I also felt somebody who had like either something to do with their lungs or their heart. The chest is really illuminated, but they talk about that. And then they're also talking about 1979 or 1989. So you have a few spirits coming through. I'm going to tell you that. I keep on seeing someone playing a guitar, but I don't feel like it's in your family. Could be to a significant other as well. So, like someone musical. So I'm hearing the guitar play, but that's what I needed to tell you. I don't feel Dale. For your husband's Uncle Dale. So the thing is, if there's like the passing like that, it's possible that he doesn't even know he's passed. You know, and when they're
Oh,
like
that's
that,
interesting.
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes they stay stuck in between. And if they're stuck in between, unless I'm in that area, I wouldn't be able to answer that question because sometimes you don't feel them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And back to, I think we've got, so Marianne bopped in there for a second, but again, wait, no. Um, well, anyway, if you can tune into Marianne Spellman, somebody put her name up here, but I don't know. I don't know if this is a real person or not, but she said replying to Marianne Spellman, J Lane. I don't quite get that, but
Oh, maybe she just asked who I was. It's possible.
yeah, no, that didn't come up. That was interesting. But anyway, if you've got anything for Marianne without, do I need to pull up her
No,
message?
I'm
If she
not.
just
I'm
wanted
not in this
to, okay,
moment. Honestly,
not
yeah,
okay.
I'm not
So
feeling.
this just came through from YouTube.
Oh, Casey, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And you know that's tough. I understand that because I've lost three children. I lost one at 7 weeks, one at 5.5 months, and one at 8.5 months. And I always told my son he was going to have my three boys, and he does have three boys. But the thing is, you can't look at it like, oh my God, you're fertile. There's no question about it. I mean, if you've had three miscarriages, you can have babies. But the thing is, I would look at to see why you're losing those babies. Are you around something electrical? Is That's what happened to me. I was sleeping on a water bed, and there's a heater there, and the electromagnetic static or feels not good for a pregnant woman. But this was years ago. The other thing you have to look at, do like is your hydrometer. I don't know, like I don't know if you have one of those, but hydrometer close to the room in which you're sleeping. I always look at to see what kind of electromagnetic fields are around you. Are you close to like a power station? So eliminate all those things first of all. Do you have too much acid in your system? Is that why you're miscarrying? Because I always feel like there's too much acid for some reason. Acidic, you know? And so I don't know why, but that's kind of what I feel because I don't feel like you have to go for IVF treatment or fertility treatments. I feel that you can have babies. It's just that why are they not latching on or why are you having these miscarriages? And that's what you have to look at. I do feel like you're going to have children. So don't stress yourself out over it. Don't make it a job because I think you're making it a job. Sorry, Casey. I just have to speak my truth.
Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit to that. Is I don't know what's going on the other side, but I'm actually seeing some energy from your husband coming in on this, and there's some kind of whatever's going on there. There's some a little bit of fear that we just talked about, right? But there's a little bit of fear on that side. And also it looks like after the first miscarriage, there was actually a lot of fear within the whole pregnancy. And then with the third one. So what I'm going to say is also you're not done with the grieving process,
Mm,
Casey. This is a big deal.
it is.
Um, you can communicate with those babies
Yes, you can.
and see if they want to come back through, if they want to try again. Those baby beings are around you. Yeah, I'm actually watching the emotional energy come right off. I mean, even though we're on a computer and all of that, I'm watching that start to bubble up. You have not given yourself really almost a chance to grieve your physical body. You intellectualized all of it. The doctors intellectualized it. But I just see once you're done grieving and you give yourself space to reset, you're going to be in a much better space. So that's what I've got to share with you on that. And blessings and love to you on just clearing out that space and just protecting yourself. And by the way, you don't have to have the same experience as some things when you were growing up. It can be different, and that's what I think you know what that means, and so I'm going to leave that with you for now. And I'm going to say hello to Marianne Spellman. You're still here. I see you. And thank you, June. I know I got it. It was great. It's just moving so fast that I can't keep up on it. One of the things I'm looking at, Marianne, is you got to get up and move, girl. I'm actually seeing you're kind of got a lot of energy around you right now, and you're actually pushing through to help others, but you're not giving to yourself in the same vein. And I'm going to share, I've said that to you before, but I'm seeing it even more so right now that you're in, for some reason, you're in caregiver mode. So I don't know if something's going on with somebody around you or a loved one, but you seem to be taking care of a lot of other people. And there's things that you need to take care of for yourself that are going to help you. Again, and I'm kind of seeing you, I don't know if you had any more surgeries or anything like that, but it actually looks like you might be having some have recently gone through some issues. So I just want to say hello to that. And I'm sending you some like golden light healing and love to just maybe clear your space. You've got the tools, I know, because I've taught them to you. So use your tools. But really kind of get back into that space. And the other thing I would say is it looks like you've been talking to different folks, different psychics and things like that. And I'm seeing that you may not be getting some clear information. I don't know how better to say that. There seems to be some information that's there that you've been holding on to, but it's actually not a real thing or something like that. There's something going on there. And as I'm watching, it was funny. It was like I saw you clutching like this, and then the minute I said hello to whatever that information is, you went, "Oh," and you opened it and you just let it go. So that's my little read. Jay wasn't really picking up anything. Tammy, in reply to Jay, because you gave her that reading. He was very ambitious. He did drink, but she doesn't know how much. He was tired. He died a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I'm so sorry
Um,
that
yeah.
happened. But he honestly, it's interesting because what it actually looks like to me, and it did while Jay was reading, and then I'm multitasking, y'all. So like you have no idea. Um, but one of the things that I saw is that actually it's like he just laid down and decided to leave. Like he just chose to leave.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing nefarious about it or anything. He just was tired of constantly, it looks like, struggling or pushing through and all of that, and always hitting those what I call pictures or energies that he couldn't punch through.
Yes.
So that's what I'm seeing there. Not necessarily too soon for a read. It's just a different kind it from how she sees, and then I'm seeing it as I saw very clearly that as a soul, he just chose that point. And sometimes when they do that, it's not necessarily that it's too soon to read, but he was done with his karma. He was done with all that energy. And when you're done with all of that, you're actually gone.
You're
Like
done.
you're
Yeah.
done. Like
Done like dinner.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're done. Oh, here's some Oh, Janet says she wonders if her mom got leukemia from sleeping on a waterbed. Let's not go. I don't want to necessarily go there.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. This was many, many years ago, just to let you know, Janet. It's just that the doctor that I had said that I was losing the babies because of the electromagnetic. And a lot of people do get cancers from different things like that. But to say specifically what they are, I'm not sure. So it would have to be something that is measured. I don't know. They just said the fetus couldn't handle the like being around that heater all the time. So not to open any can of worms, but
yeah,
that's
I was just going to say, let's not.
yeah. But
um,
that's basically what happened to me back in the 80s. And so it's been such a
I'm
long
so
time.
sorry
So
about
yeah.
that. Wow. And things were not the same in the 80s either. Those heaters, they were
Oh,
different.
very
Like
different.
that's a very
And
different.
you're talking about Canada, eh?
Because I
So
could
who the hell
listen to
knows?
you talk all year. So this is our friend Tom, who's on here every single week as well. Thank you all for hanging out. And he said his dad Leonard passed away on September 17th, and
Oh,
mom Mary on her birthday. On her birthday?
oh wow.
Oh
Eh,
my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Who's in May? Who's in May, Leonard?
It's Tom.
Oh,
Leonard's
sorry,
the dad.
Leonard. I'm so sorry, Tom. Who's in May? The month of May, or on the 5th, or the 14th, or the 23rd of any month?
Oh gosh.
Is there anything there, Tom?
He'll be again. I have a delay, so he can come
Okay.
in. But I do want to kind of validate what I was looking at with Marianne. She said she did have surgery. She had cancer surgery.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So
Yeah.
there we are, Marianne. We'll circle around. I'll reach out to you. I'll in the next few days. Wait, where did Tom go? On a side note, oh, I gave Tammy some advice and in a reading or in our last week's show about handling some energy.
Oh, good.
And I'm thrilled for you that it went well, and now you can maybe talk. Tarot card readers sending love and light. That looks legit to me. Where are you, Tom? I'm looking. Sorry.
I don't see him.
Oh my gosh, Tom. He'll respond. Tammy said he did just lay down. Motorcycle kept going.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
Wow. So, okay, maybe not. Felt a very strong connection. Bye bye. Block user on Facebook. Add to block list on Restream chat. So that's bye
You
bye.
get a lot of trolls, huh?
Well, you know what I say about trolls, Jay? That we are absolutely doing something so right
Yes.
that
Yeah.
they want to come in and but we took care of that.
Okay.
um
Well,
and Tom
Tom,
says nothing I can think of
that's
immediately.
okay. So I see number fives around you. So fives for me are the 5th of any month, the 14th of any month. 1 + 4 is 5, or the 23rd. 14 in my world, because I deal with soul numbers. January 1st to the 14th, October 1st to the 14th, or April 1st to April 14th. Number 23 in my world is February 2nd to the 23rd, or March 2nd to March 23rd. But there's something to do with that, unless it's E, N, or W names. But I'm feeling that around you, and I get the strong sense of it. So asking the family who would have those dates, you may have to go over them again, unless it's the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of any month. All right. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that for you, but that's what I'm feeling. And I like your last name because it makes me think of like and like dandy, like that's how you say it in French, but dand, like which is turkey, and I love turkey.
Oh god, oh gosh, that's so funny.
They're so
um
cute. I love that. But
oh
turkey's
my god, that's
cute.
that's great. Marianne, I just blocked tarot card reader, and if anybody is private messing you or messaging you asking them you to contact them for a private reading, you block the user immediately.
Yeah, be
Just
careful.
block them. Don't respond to them. I just blocked. They're poaching people, and so don't even worry about it. But just block them if you don't know how to block them, because don't accidentally block me, or we have trouble in River City. Yeah, so that is there. So, gosh, we have so many people here, and I so appreciate all of you. This actually, I didn't know we were going to go this long.
It was great, though.
But oh my gosh, I hope you're going to stick around, right, for this meditation?
Of course I am.
Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent. So we are going to wrap this up. For those of you who didn't get readings, apology, we can't get to everybody, but I really do hope that you stick around. This is going to be a very healing meditation, and we're going to have you say hello to a loved one. So if you have a question that you were going to ask Jay, maybe you can ask your loved one in this next piece. So, oh goodness, Jay, thank you so much for going.
Oh my goodness,
That was so fun. I can't believe the time just flew. I didn't expect.
It really did, and I had a great time. Oh my goodness.
So, goodness. So, well, everybody go ahead and just give yourselves a breath. I don't say take a breath because that's like taking something. Give yourself a breath, give yourself the breath of life, and then gently close your eyes or turn your gaze downward. And be seated in a comfortable position with your feet on the floor. So if you're sitting, you don't have to sit cross-legged. This is not that kind of meditation. And sit back in your chair. Maybe you want to put a pillow behind your back. And just begin to turn your attention within. Notice your thoughts. And you don't have to do anything with your thoughts. Just let them be there. Just focus on that breath and that rise and fall of your chest. And then go ahead and rest your eyes. And as you breathe with every breath, feel yourself expanding in your own space, connected to the chair, connected to the earth, connected to your body. And then rest your attention in the center of your head, behind your eyes, in that space that's just for you. Imagine that you're in a place that is your sanctuary, where it is safe, where it is comfortable, where it is calm, outside of the chaos of the world, but right in your mind. Create that space as you wish. You can imagine you're in a room and paint the walls the color that you want them, or maybe you're in a mountain field, or maybe you're in a sauna. Whatever is comfortable for you, where you can be in charge. And pull up a chair in the center of your head. And gently declare yourself in that space that is your space. And what you can do is just say your name, I am, and then repeat your name. From that space in the center of your mind, imagine that you're looking out and you have a 360-degree vision all around you. And in that space, say hello to the tip of your tailbone at the base of your spine. This is your first chakra. This is an energy center that is where your safety and security and your identity is. It's the place where you can release energy and things that no longer serve you. It's the place where you can let go of responsibility for anyone else's energy. Give yourselves a breath and imagine that you are connected from the base of your spine to the center of the earth. Allow Mother Earth to support you and support your journey. I like to have people imagine that they're connected or sitting on top of a big, beautiful oak tree that's rooted into the ground. Give yourself a breath and feel as you sink more within you. And just as you exhale, begin to see a flow of energy moving away from you and down that tree or down your grounding cord if you are using something else, where it gets recycled in the earth. And right here and now, just go ahead and breathe and release and see that flow like a waterfall. Let go of anything you've been responsible for that's not yours. And once you get that set, just notice how you're feeling in that space of being connected to the earth and releasing. Give yourselves another breath and go ahead and put all your problems and anything that you want to hold on to for later, but you're ready to put aside for right now, and put it in a beautiful basket and move that right outside the center of your head, the center of your space. It's a great way to clear your mind. Since today is the equinox, imagine you are in perfect balance. Day and night, earth and cosmos. Connected with your breath, connected with your body, and that you're stepping out of any of the challenges or chaos that you've been in for just a moment. Give yourself a break for this next few minutes. Now I'd like you to imagine a rose out in front of you. And just visualize that in your mind. Beautiful red rose. And then I'd like you to explode that rose in a beautiful flash of light. And now I'd like you to visualize another rose out in front of you that represents a spiritual hello. We can call it a hello rose. You can see that rose as happy and someone out there seeing it as happy and dancing. That might be you, Jay. I'm seeing a beautiful dancing rose, and that's a hello rose. And first, I'd like you to give that rose to your heart, that happy spiritual hello. Say hello to yourself as the spirit that you are. Say hello to your heart. You can even put your hand on your heart for just a moment as you say hello. Give yourself a breath, and with the clarity of your mind's eye, I'd like you to imagine another rose out in front of you that represents a loved one that you would like to give a message to or get a message from. And just have that face appear above that rose, and see that rose as grounded, as if it's planted in the ground. And then just notice what it feels like to just look at your loved one in spirit. Do you see colors? Do you see just the rose? Do you see shimmering light? They may not have the body that you're used to. It may be just a beautiful light. And then I'd like you to imagine another hello rose that's in between the two of you. Just a simple hello. And I'd like you to hand that rose to them and watch what happens as they receive your hello in spirit. So many times we're such busy bees that we don't pay attention to those that are already there. And now you're saying hello to them. And if you have a question for your loved one who has crossed over, you can go ahead and just ask it of them and see if you receive a response. This is a very simple way of communicating with spirit, but just see what you see. Experience what you experience, feel what you feel. There's no right or wrong. And you're doing this while you're letting go. And so if there's any grief coming up for you, that's just going right down your grounding cord. Getting recycled. Mother Earth is welcoming all that energy and soothing you and supporting you as you say hello to your loved one in spirit. In spirit, there's no time or space. So just go ahead and say thank you to that spirit that's in front of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for communicating. Thank you for being here. And then thank yourself and let that rose that represents your loved one float off into a golden sun. And now give yourself a breath and move your attention once again into the center of your awareness. And begin to call back your life force or any energy you've given away into a golden sun above your head. Golden shimmering light. Fill that sun with qualities of energy you want to experience for the next week. And just like that, snap your fingers and put all of that into the golden sun. And then imagine that golden sun coming in through the top of your head, right into your crown chakra, and just flowing right through you from top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, so that you're finally sitting in a bubble, filling up all your energy, including your skin, your physical body, every part of you. Let that gold sun expand into the energy field around you until you're sitting in a bubble of golden light, connected with the earth. Now put a great big smile on your face. It's really true. That will change your world. And give yourself one final deep breath that, well, not one final, but for this meditation, a breath in and slowly exhale. And bring your attention back to the room. Notice your hands and your feet. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes as you return to yourself. And be right back here in this room with all of us. Woo!
It's relaxing.
Wow. How was that for you, Jay? You were just smiling, and I think that dancing rose was yours.
I think so too. And it's funny because after my mother died, I received a little, and I never found out what it was, who it was from, but I received a little red leather case, and on it was a rose, and on the back end of it, it said Joe, because my mom used to call me Jojo, or Josephine, right? And inside was a chapelet, like a rosary,
Oh,
and it was
wow.
all red roses. It was pretty wild. And my mom, just before she died, we found out her name. She was always Beatrice, but on her birth certificate, she found out she was Rose, and she hated that name. She didn't like it, and I think it's beautiful. But she never liked it. She says, "No, I'm Beatrice. I'm not Rose." And that came, and that kind of made me happy because it was almost like she accepted that name, like
Yeah.
it was her given name, and so that was her way, I think, of coming through. But I don't know who said that to me.
That's really interesting. And so this had a lot of significance more than,
Yeah, it didn't say Joseph, it didn't say Joanne, it didn't say like,
yeah.
it said Joe, and that's exactly my mom. Hey, Joe, Joe, Joe. It's always
Wow,
yeah.
that's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah. So I could see why you said that dancing rose belonged to me because I think it does.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Thank
really
you.
something.
No, but thank you for that. I needed that.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. And I have to block these folks right here for right
Oh
now.
my goodness.
Um,
I think like you're right, eh? You're doing something, but it's upsetting when people write and they take advantage. Like I just spoke to a woman who I'm sure just had a loss. I don't know her details, but she was taken for $100 online. The person gave her a very half-ass reading, I hate to say. But what was sad was that they went on to feed them information that there was something very wrong in their life, and they were trying to extort them for more money. Like, I
yeah,
could take this, I could get rid of this for you, or I could do a spell. And, folks, that just doesn't exist, unfortunately. So the thing is, these people are just looking to take advantage
yeah,
of you and your losses. So, I mean,
which is sad.
we do this for free because we want to help people. And so the thing is that if people want to come and see us for readings, then they just have to go to our websites. But at the end
Right.
of the day, be very careful, people, what you pay
Ex-
for out there, and do your
ex-
research. Yeah.
Exactly. And so thank you. People are thanking for the meditation.
Oh,
You
it's
are you are
beautiful.
absolutely so welcome. It is part of what I do. I do this show every single week here, this TGIF. You're welcome to join. You can find me on my Facebook page. You can find me at Spirit Light Insight on YouTube. Um, I'm sure we can exchange information. Oh, CJ, oh my gosh. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Here, like towards the end, you might have to check this out in a little bit. But I think we should kind of wrap up for now. So I'm going to do my like sort of end spiel because I hope you all have enjoyed what we did today. This is a very special show for me. I said I was fangirling like crazy, and Jay, I am so thrilled. Oh, this is so sweet that you came on here. Thanks so much. I cried and smiled.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
so beautiful. Yeah, you can message me or message Jay and let us know what your experience was with saying hello to your loved one and if you got a communication from them, because they will communicate with you if you take the time to communicate with them. Thank you both for sharing your talents with us. Appreciate it. I'm trying to get these as much as possible. But if you enjoy what we're creating here, absolutely do
Oh,
subscribe, like, and share. Um, I appreciate your support. Thank you, Janet. Welcome. Oh, Janet, I meant to get it before we go. Will you indulge me? Do you pick up anything on Janet's sister?
oh my goodness. Is anyone with really dark hair? I just need to know.
She'll pipe up. I know. I'm sorry about this delay. I'll start saying thank you.
That's okay. Like, and right away, like I was picking up number ones around her too. So
Number one.
January or October or 1, 10, 19, or 28 of any month. But I'm picking that up. So I don't know exactly what it is. But Janet, I would think you have more than one spirit around you, honey. Someone keeps on showing me like a red vehicle or a Dodge vehicle. And I don't know why. But anyways, that's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
But yeah, but I would think there's something to do with January or October or number ones. I can't see your answer, so
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm get her dad. Oh wait, interesting. Her dad had black hair.
Yeah, like really dark hair. Yeah. Is there anything to do with January or October, Janet? Like birthdays, anniversaries, or passings, even of people that are still here? Or or the first, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of any month. Could even be like A or J or S names like Sam. So just to let you know. Oh, you're welcome. There you go. Yeah. Your dad's around, but he would bring through other people, and they make me feel also, I don't know if somebody had like a speech impediment or a stutter or like a different way of talking or something, but I just heard that, Janet. So I don't know who that is. But try to figure out who that is. But like something to do with the speech, that's kind of weird. So I don't know why. I don't think it's a slur. Could be like a stutter or like, someone that doesn't pronounce their S's right. Like, something like that. Unless it's someone who's deaf, because when they're deaf, they have like a funnier sounding voice because they can't hear themselves talking. But I wasn't too sure about that. But I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, no, thank you. I thank you for indulging me for just
No,
that
that's
moment because
fine.
of
Oh my
what
God.
was happening. They were getting like drowned out. There's so many people that I just wanted to
Yes.
kind of say hello to that. She
Uh,
doesn't know about the speech.
yeah, ask in the family if there's something like that or something wrong with the inside of the mouth. Sometimes it could be like a cleft lip or like a surgery inside the mouth or something, or like someone that sounds really funny. But just to let you know, I'm hearing that comes along with your dad. So it could even be like a friend of his. But ask in the family if anyone knows anyone like that. But I would think that your sister's with your dad. But January or October is what I was seeing, like number ones. And January and October are number ones for me, Janet, just in case you're not aware of that. It's just the way I see it. So yeah.
No, that's great, and I appreciate that kind of last
Thank
minute.
you.
I lob the ball back
You're
at you,
welcome.
but so as we wrap up, thank you for attending and coming to this
Oh my
TGIF for the
God.
curious and enlightened. Of course, readings and healings are always available. I'm open. I have openings. You can reach me at spiritlightinsight.com. And it's spelled just like Spirit Light Insight
I love it.
com. Very easy. For those of you who enjoyed the meditation, if you're interested in anything, I have a holiday workshop series that starts with like Halloween and things that go bump in the night and spirit and ghosts, and then surviving the holidays. Like I have all kinds of things because they're very stressful, right?
Oh, they are.
So I have a whole holiday series. I'm getting those dates together so you can find information about me. You can book a reading here, and these are links. It'll be dropped into all of the timelines wherever. Thank you, Jay, for being here. Jay offers
Mhm.
private readings and group sessions.
Yep.
You can reach her at mediumjlane.com. Yeehaw, yay.
Yeah.
Uh, and I love, go get her book, Dying to Know, sign up for her mailing list and get that book. It's very amazing and enlightening, and I enjoyed it. Not a difficult read, which is great because sometimes people
It's
may.
easy read. I did it on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy read. You can check out, and this is amazing. If you are in the, well, where is it? All the different
Well,
locations.
Ontario, like if you're in Ontario,
Ontario.
go check out the Eventbrite or the events page on my website and check it out. I'm really excited. I've got a few other events. I'm all done by the end of October. And then after that, I'm going to be going back out on the road once the snow melts in this, because we get a lot of
Well,
snow here. Yeah.
maybe you'll come in and do a winter gig with
Wouldn't that be
us.
cool? I'd
We
love that.
because if you'll have me again, I will have you again,
Oh
and
my God.
we'll get it pretty smooth. But thank you all for being here, and on behalf of Spirit Light Insight, me, Debbie Tatel, thank you so much for being here. Jaylene, thank you so much for being here. This is amazing, and as always, keep your spirit light in sight and shine your light for all to see. Bye bye now.